حطها بباطن القدم حلوة على شمال الحارس إيزاكا وماكا، لا إيزاكا ولا غير أوزاكا يقدروا يجيبوا الكرة اللي فاتت، ومؤمن زكريا يعلنها ثنائية للوايت نايت.
Welcome back, and on to cycling now. And the Dutch rider Nicky Terpstra of the Omega Pharma team clinched overall victory in the Tour of Qatar on Friday as Frenchman Arnaud Démare won the concluding stage. Démare of the FDG team secured the sixth and final stage of Doha Corniche in a sprint finish after a 113.5 kilometer ride from Sea Lion Beach Resort. Let's move to the story.
The Omega Pharma team clinched overall victory in the Tour of Qatar as Frenchman Arnaud Démare won the concluding stage. Démare of the FDJ team secured the sixth and final stage at Doha Corniche in a sprint finish after a 113.5 kilometer ride from Sea Lion Beach Resort. Terpstra, who had been out in front since winning the opening stage, finished ahead of his teammate Tom Boonen, the Belgian who fell just short of winning the event for the fifth time. Boonen claimed wins on the second and fourth stage in Qatar. On the podium, smiling, Terpstra praised Boonen and predicted the Omega Pharma team were set for a good season.
Thank you.
Every day there was a lot of wind. Every day 4 or 5x4. That's not easy in the desert here. So we had to keep the focus every day. But the team was really strong, and I could rely on the strong guys. So they did an excellent job.
From the African Champions League, if we move to the Egyptian Premier League, and now we're having Smoha is topping in Group A where Ahli lies, and Zamalek is also having a good performance on their side. So how are you evaluating in general what's happening, and your brief about what's happening in the Egyptian Premier League at this state?
Well, Al-Ahli's form is terrible, Sharif. Al-Ahli have won 4 points from their last 5 league matches. And you heard it right, yes, 4 points from their last 5 matches. And the only win they got was against Ghazl al-Mahalla, who had 2 players sent off, and the goal was from the penalty spot as well. So it's just unbelievable, really, what's been going through. And it's a kind of form and the kind of run that Al-Ahli has never been through throughout all the years. Even in the 60s, when Al-Ahli lied 5th and 6th at times in the league, it did not happen the way it's happening now. So Al-Ahli has a chance, though, because remember we have a league of 2 groups, and the top 2 teams go to the final stage. So it's still early. We're still in the first round of matches, but Al-Ahli will have to pick up very quickly, and Mohamed Youssef will have to improve his team's work rate a lot in order to qualify at first to the knockout stage, or let's say the final group phase for the league. And on the other hand, in the African Champions League as well, remember Al-Ahli are facing the young Africans, the Tanzanian champions, who have won 10-3 on aggregate in the first round of matches, the round of last 64. Yes. So Al-Ahli have to do a lot of work. Otherwise, we've seen some very good teams, the likes of Smoha, the likes of Nourin Arab, the likes of Al-Ittihad, and they are teams who are performing well against all the odds, really, because everyone thought with the league stopping for the last 2 or 3 years, and with only Al Ahly and Al Zamalek playing continentally, but we found a lot of new faces, a lot of good teams, and it's good for the league, and let's hope it will add to the competition, and maybe we'll see some new faces in the final group or the final phase to decide the Egyptian championship.
Yes, that's a very good point, Marwan, and that was actually my question to you is having Sumuha on top of the group and Arab Contractors also doing quite well, knowing that these teams had in the previous version of the Egyptian Premier League, they didn't really do well, and they were really suffering, and they were down the list. Today, having them, like, you know, priming this and trying to fight for the top spot, how is this switch, in your opinion, happened?
It's the point, Sharif, it's when it's not in Zamalek or Al Ahly or Al Ismaili, it's not even the likes of MP or Haras Al Hudud, who we are used to seeing in these places and who have won cups in recent years. And remember, Haras Al Hudud, when the league was abandoned in the year of the Port Said incident, Haras Al Hudud were about 5 points on top of the league at the time, and they were favorites to win the league. And yet this time around, it's not Haras Al Hudud, it's not MP, and it's new faces. The faces we're used to seeing lying down in the table, the likes of Al Ittihad, the likes of Al Ma'oulin, who are really facing a lot of problems financially. But this time around, they're fresh. They have some good players and talent, and it should add to the league. Really, let's hope this will add to the level of our league, and it will enhance the chances of seeing new players. And at the end, this adds to the national team, and it will be a big bonus really for Shawi Gharib when he chooses his team next for the African Cup qualifiers, which are a couple of months away now.
Definitely, and at the end, I'd like to thank you very much, Marwan, for joining us. It has been a great pleasure to have your input. Thank you very much. Now let's move on now for a short break, and we're returning back for more.
William McGirt's red-hot start at the Riviera saw the American seize the lead in the Northern Trust Open, where he will be vying for the first US PGA Tour title on Sunday. The 34-year-old birdied the first 3 holes and 5 of his first 6, finishing with 8 birdies in the 6 under par 65 for a 12 under par total of 201. McGirt had a 2-stroke lead over George McNeil and Charlie Belgian in the $6 million event. McNeil posted a third round 66, and Belgian, who lost to John Merrick in a playoff last year, posted a 68 for 203. It was a further stroke back to Brian Harman, whose 68 included an eagle for the first, and Jason Allred, a Monday qualifier who followed up a second round 64 with a 67 to stay in the hunt at 204. The lesser-known names on the upper reaches of the leaderboard had a bevy of big names well within striking distance in a group of 7 players on the 8 under 205. They included former Masters champions Bubba Watson and Charles Schwartzel, rising U.S. star Jordan Spieth, 8-time U.S. Tour winner Dustin Johnson, and early season sensation Jimmy Walker, who last Sunday notched his 3rd win in 8 starts at the Pebble Beach. Watson had 7 birdies without a bogey in his 7 under 64. Schwartzel posted a 2nd straight 68, and Walker and Spieth both signed for 67s. Both run their first round later. Johnson carded a 68, and Cameron Triangle carded a 67 to join the group at 8 under.
Welcome back. You're still watching Sprint, and moving on now to the upcoming match and the African Super Cup, and definitely Ahli is getting ready for this important match in light of also the down performance that they have been witnessing in the domestic league. To talk to us more about this topic, we're joined today with Frederick Nyonga. He's a sports journalist with the TV 5 and also the International Radio France. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us, Frederick. Hello, Frederick, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So, Frederick, let me start first with Ahli. Ahli is a giant, and with this, low performance in the domestic league, heading to the African Super Cup, which is an important milestone for the achievements of Ahli. How do you see the low performance and the upcoming match for the final of the Super Cup?
First, I would like to say, Ahli will play in 48 hours, a very important game against Sfax for the Super Cup, the African Super Cup. And I think that, this challenge comes very, very early, for the Red Devils,
Yes.
because at the moment the team is not at his best, and we could see that Al Ahly won only one game out of the last 5 games, which is something that we didn't witness, we haven't witnessed since a long time, here in Egypt. So I think that, it will be a very difficult challenge for them, because they will have to raise their level, because the Tunisian, the Tunisians of Sfax didn't forget what happened in 2008 when Al Ahly won the Champions League, thanks to a very late goal from Mohamed Abou Trika.
Perfect. And in your opinion, Frederick, what do you think is the real reason behind this low performance? Is it the change in generation that the new coach is trying to implement over the past period? Is it that you have old generations like Wael Goma within the squad, the pressure that's kept on Ahmed Metaib that he's given a certain period of time, and this changes and the aspirations for an entire squad change by Al Ahly management? How are you seeing these changes, and how are you seeing the reasons behind this poor performance?
Look, it's very difficult what's happening, for Al Ahly, but I think that, what is happening